The story of the Rebbe's life parallels the story of Judaism in the 20th century. He was born in Tsarist Russia at the turn of the century, a descendant of the first Rebbes of Chabad. He survived the murderous pogroms that swept through Tsarist Russia in the early 1900s. As the Communist Revolution began to take root and power was seized by the Bolsheviks, he watched his parents walk the halls of power, fighting for the rights of Jews and Judaism. As a teenager during World War I, his home was a center of relief efforts for the tens of thousands of Jewish refugees who flooded their city. In his 20s, he met and studied with the Torah giants of his times. He married the daughter of the Lubavitcher Rebbe in a wedding attended by Jewish leaders from far and near. Living in Berlin during Hitler's rise to power, he witnessed firsthand a modern society turning against the Jews within it. He escaped Paris only days ahead of the Nazi advance into the city, then crossed the Atlantic on one of the last civilian vessels to leave warlock Europe. When he arrived, his father-in-law placed him at the helm of Lubavitch's newly founded educational and publishing departments. As the center of world Jewry shifted to the United States, he became the leader of the Lubavitch Hasidic movement. At the time, his strategy was considered risky, even dangerous. He taught his followers, in addition to focusing inward on improving themselves, to bring Judaism outward, pioneering the concept of modern Jewish outreach. As hundreds of thousands of Jewish pioneers returned to their homeland, he encouraged and corresponded with its leaders. During peace and conflict, he embraced the Holy Land and its people. In evolving attitudes and trends, he managed to identify a yearning for something higher, endeavoring to quench the thirst with increased spirituality and morality. Under the noses of brutal dictators, he ran a network of clandestine operatives. As Jews began to enjoy a freedom unseen in hundreds, perhaps thousands of years, he proclaimed that moral people must be a light unto their neighbors, promoting the 7 universal laws for all of humanity. In a century which saw more scientific advances than thousands of years before it, he embraced what others shunned, encouraging that technology be used in the service of its creator. As travel and communication made the world smaller, he inspired thousands to reach out to their brethren in love, as they had once been chased down in hatred. The Rebbe spoke precious little about himself, so his life has never been properly documented. Rather, it is impressed on the hearts and minds of those who encountered him through the years. After his passing in 1994, the story of his life continues, through the countless lives he has touched and inspired. My Encounter with the Rebbe is an oral history project geared at documenting the story of the Rebbe's remarkable life. This release features highlights of the testimony of 15 of these interviews, focusing on the Rebbe's childhood and youth. This is not an official biography of the Rebbe. Rather, it is a glimpse into these individuals' own encounters with the Rebbe.